Many of you guys haven't hit the ceiling yet. That's why you're still in your comfort zone. That's why you haven't grown. That's why you're not ready to take action. That's why you haven't invested in yourself. That's why you're not living your dreams. That's why you're in your own way, because you haven't hit the ceiling yet. There's a threshold, and many of us are close. Something's off. Something's not right. I really want to change. I want to find my purpose. I want to become a better version of myself. But then you don't take action. Welcome back. It's another episode on the Luke Mind Power Podcast. A blessing to be here wherever you're watching on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening. I hope you're doing amazing. I'm looking forward to spending some time with you. It's been a minute since I recorded another podcast episode, and I'm just pumped to be able to spend some more time with you and help you stay inspired, motivated, excited about life, even though, I know that it's a up and down journey. It's not exactly what we want every single day. And, even though these statements of like, life is what you make it, there's still so many challenges. There's still so much shit that we have to deal with, Life is what you make it. And you're like, yeah, it's not that simple. I know. Exactly. It's not that simple. And that's the whole purpose of life, that it's not supposed to be simple. Hence why achieving your goals, your dreams is a journey. Your life is a journey. And so many of us are just stuck in this place of like, we're eventually going to be happy when we achieve this or when we achieve that. And man, let me tell you, man, you got to protect your mind. If you protect your mind and the way that you think, you'll be happy all the time. You'll be happy in this moment, even when tough times come. The frustrations come, you deal with that, you laugh at that, but then you step back on the horse of gratitude. And just be grateful, man, to be alive. Be grateful you got a bed to sleep on. Be grateful that you're freaking breathing. Be grateful that you're not fucking one of the 1,000 people or however many people fucking lost their lives and took their last breath last fucking night, And then it's up to you to go, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to step up and live my freaking dreams, or am I going to keep freaking living my fears and not taking action and not getting what I want? Many of us are holding ourselves back, and sometimes I have experienced this in my life, that the reason why we're not getting what we want is just because we're not taking enough action and we're not, taking those risks. And let me tell you, man, there is a threshold that we have in certain parts or areas of our life that when we start hitting that ceiling and we start hitting the point of like, oh my gosh, like something's got to budge, something's going to happen, I've got to take some action. It's not, I'm getting older, life is getting away from me, I haven't been able to make progress in this area of my life, wherever that is. Maybe it's just, not feeling enough, that not enoughness. Maybe you've been brought down too many times, been bullied too much. People have been calling you specific names or whatever that is, and you've been shrinking yourself because you're scared to disappoint people, or you're scared to show up and be too loud, or you don't want to hurt other people's feelings, or you want to just keep the peace, for example, because that's your situation in your life at the moment. Whatever that is, you want to keep the peace. You don't want to disturb people, right? And then eventually, I truly believe that we have this innate nature, this innate energy, this innate soul within yourself, this spirit that is really guiding you. We've lost touch with that because we're so mentally conditioned. This is psychological warfare. Everything outside of yourself is either going to program you in a positive way or in a negative way. You be aware of that and just be paying attention. Your self-awareness is everything. What you consume is what you become. Not necessarily that you have to become it, but we don't appreciate how powerful information is outside of us that then we watch or we consume or we listen to, that then affects the way that we think and feel about ourselves. And so it's really, really important, that you become aware. And that's why I say, man, become the master of your mind, right? Don't let your mind master you. You master your mind. And that's why it's really, really important. As Les Brown says, the first 20 minutes of your day is when your mind is most impressionable. Maybe it's not the first 20 minutes. Maybe it's the first fucking hour, what it is that you do in the first hour. Maybe it's in the first. And the thing is, guys, there's no right or wrong. There's no freaking planned routine. Just because you listen to someone who's a fucking billionaire and they say that, in the first hour of my day, I write on the wall, I love you, I love you, I love you, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best, you're extraordinary, you're extraordinary. And they say that works. Doesn't mean that's going to work for you. Your fucking first hour of the day may be reading a book. Your first hour of your day may be going for a wander around your freaking street, a wander down the road. And you may be jumping up and doing star jumps and shit. And that's what fucking works for you. You know, maybe the first hour of your day is calling your mum or calling your sister or your family member on the other side of the world and having a fucking coffee in the morning and talking to your family member. Maybe that's your hour. You know, this is not about one size fits all. I am here to open your mind. If you don't try, you'll never know. You know, I have gone, and I'll be real freaking real and authentic with you here. I have gone from journaling, gratitude, fucking morning routines, and like it is, and because of my nomad lifestyle, you know, just living in Dubai. Now I'm in Poland, you know, like I can go to whichever country I want and work from there. I was in Germany last week, you know, and it doesn't matter. I can change my location, but in changing my location also changes my routine, you know. And so because of my lifestyle, and I'm not complaining, I'm just saying that, you know, we are very, very adaptable beings. You know, I remember Tom Billy, when I first started this work, he said that we are adaptable. We can pivot, we can adjust, we can maneuver like water. Like Bruce Lee said, be water, my friend. You know, you put the water into a kettle, into a cup, it becomes the cup. You know, put it into a vase or a vase, it becomes the vase or the vase, however you pronounce it. Put the water in a freaking sneaker, it becomes the sneaker. This is the power that you have, but it's up to you. You want to go on a journey of transformation, of self-discovery, of like figuring out your power, your greatness, what works for you. What works for me doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. It's up to you to discover, to take the action, to do things that you feel work for you, man. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. She said she meditates for 50 minutes every morning. I go, what do you do with this meditation? It's like, I'm sit there, I listen to this, I listen to that. I go, wow, that's amazing. It's so awesome that works for you. That feeds your soul, man. For me, that's not my vibe. You know, like this morning, what did I do? I got up out of bed. I made my bed. I made sure my room was fucking clean. I got my bag. I got my towel. I got the water, got my sunnies, and I fucking got the car keys and I went to the gym. That's what I did. You know, I've got a fucking gratitude journal. In fact, I'm holding it here. And I normally have this in my freaking room, but for some reason I took it out of my room because I was like, you know what? Fuck this gratitude journal, man. I'm fucking grateful already, you know? But yeah, I've got a lot of shit in here. I'm trying to find where I freaking write that I'm grateful so I can freaking show you that I've been practicing this gratitude. There we go. Here we go. Thank you. Look at this shit, right? This is my gratitude journal, okay? It says, thank you for the sun. Thank you for my hats. Thank you for another day. Thank you for my stomach. Thank you for my taste. Thank you for the food. Thank you for another day. Thank you for my clothes. Thank you for my thongs. Thank you for my health. Thank you for being able to write. Thank you for my positive mindset. Thank you for enjoying alcohol. Thank you for nature. You know, like, you're the one that's in control of your life, man. You know, and we have this information, these social media platforms, like you can either use the information and then implement it into your life and see if it works for you. You can do whatever you think is right for you and try different things and figure yourself out. You have your own mind. Just because someone says that it works for them doesn't mean it has to work for you. Okay? I think we are losing ourselves so much to like this whole like routine of like even some people saying get up at 4 a.m., get up at 1 a.m., man. How about you fucking beat everyone 5 a.m. club? Fucking go to bed at fucking 6 p.m. and get up at fucking 1 a.m. and start your day when it's fucking dark, it's peace and quiet, you can't hear shit, and everyone else around the world is fucking sleeping. Do that. Own your brilliance, own your difference, you know. You don't have to do a gratitude journal. You don't have to do anything that anyone says. What you need to figure out is what works for you. You don't have to listen to a podcast. You don't have to listen to motivational videos. You don't have to get out of your comfort zone. You don't have to do shit. But you have to work out, how do I keep a positive mindset? If I think negatively, is that going to give me positive results? How do I grow and become a better version of myself? Do I surround myself with dickheads, or do I surround myself with people who actually want to see me thrive, want to see me win? Do I surround myself with people who take advantage of me and that are manipulative or deceptive or fucking people that I can't trust? Is that going to help me to become successful or fucking feel better about myself? Or do I hang around maybe fucking no one? Maybe I'm the one I need to hang around with first so that I can fucking grow and evolve and become a better version of myself so I know what to fucking tolerate. Am I making sense? Hello? You know what I mean? Like, this is the decisions, and it's not fucking, I'm in a toxic relationship right now, but let me do some fucking gratitude. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I got food to eat. I'm so grateful for my fucking clothes that I wear. I'm so grateful for the toothpaste that I got so I can brush my fucking teeth. But I'm allowing myself to be treated like fucking shit in this toxic relationship that I don't want to get out of because I'm afraid of what's it going to be like if I go on my fucking own. And it's being impeccable with your fucking word. It's not about, I'm amazing, I'm powerful, I'm this and that. But then in other areas of your life, you're doing the opposite. This is a scary place to enter, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know how many people that I've been on calls with that I've tried to share with them what they could learn from me and how they could change their life, and they say no? And it's not because they don't want to grow. It's because they're scared. It's fucking fear. I fight with people's minds when I speak to them. When my team gets on calls with people, we're fighting with people's fear because they're scared of growth. Because growth is scary. First of all, there's an investment required, but then it's the fear of change, the fear of the unknown, the fear of changing and becoming a new version of yourself that you've never become before. Known hells are preferable to strange heavens because it's familiar, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you, man, and that's why I go back to the start of the podcast. The threshold, you're hitting the ceiling. Many of you guys haven't hit the ceiling yet. That's why you're still in your comfort zone. That's why you haven't grown. That's why you're not ready to take action. That's why you haven't invested in yourself. That's why you're not living your fucking dreams. That's why you're in your own way, because you haven't hit the ceiling yet. There's a threshold, and many of us are close. We're like, oh yeah, I feel I'm something's wrong, something's off, something's not right. I really want to change. I want to find my purpose. I want to become a better version of myself. But then you don't take action. And that's exactly the process. My purpose is to attract the people who are hitting the ceiling and are ready for massive transformation. They're ready to go, hey, you know what? I'm done. This version of me is expiring. On the food, when you get food from the supermarkets and shit, and it says best before the 19th of April, 2024. And there's someone watching right now that has just hit their expiry. Actually, you're over. Like, you're expired, and you're feeling it too. You're like, yuck, and like, what does off milk taste like, or food that has been fucking rot? It's got fucking maggots and shit in it, If you open it up and you have a look, many of us are fucking stale bread that's in the kitchen and it's all fucking green and shit. You forgot about it. You forgot about yourself. That's what you are. You're in the fucking kitchen. You've been in there for about 6 months now, not in the fucking fridge, just on the bench there next to the toaster. And it is green and there's fucking maggots and shit, cockroaches, fucking flies and shit, all in this bloody piece of loaf of bread. It's off as. And we feel it, but we are so scared, timid, afraid of what would happen if we left this life and started a new one. And for me, I'm speaking from experience, guys, is I guess I was inspired or awakened by my grandmother. I was telling my friend the story, my grandmother's spirit came with me when she passed in 2018. She came back with me to Australia. And at the time, I was hanging on to a lot of cocaine and partying and I was in that game. And she was like, Luke, you're better than this, man. This is not your life. This is not who you are. You do have greatness in you. There is something in you that you haven't discovered yet. There's a purpose. There's a calling. And I believe that you're listening to this right now and you also have that feeling. Otherwise, these are not coincidences. You don't jump on the Luke Mind Power podcast because you're fucking dumb, because you're like, oh, I'm fucking just going to listen to the Luke Mind Power podcast. I don't know why. I'm just going to listen to it because I've got fuck all to do and I just want to listen to it. You're tuning in right now because something is resonating with your fucking soul. Something is relatable. Something is connected to you. And in this resonance, this is a frequency. This is a vibration, an exchange of energy that's somehow, in some way, making sense to you. And you're like, shit, this dude is making sense to me. This is relatable. This somehow it's connected. Don't for a second sit here and think, oh, I'm not making the right decision. And this is the issue with many of us. We're feeling the soul, we're feeling the calling, but the mind has so much fear and limitations and self-doubt, insecurities in yourself, that you don't actually take the steps further to actually change your life because you let your mind convince you otherwise. Your soul knows that it's time to expand and evolve and it's time to leave this version of itself and actually go in a different direction. But your mind is so programmed to be how it is subconsciously. I mean, think about it, You've lived a long life, whether it's 30, 40, 50 years, however long it is for you up until today. That's a lot of experiences, a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, a lot of information that you have stored, that you have become this conditioned energy source up until today. Know that, hey, if I'm going to make decisions to change, it's going to be difficult, but it has to be worth it for you to go, what's it going to feel like if I stay consistent for the next 5 years and I change my lifestyle, I change my habits, I change my environment, I change the way that I think? What kind of version? It's almost like you have to say, hey, am I ready to develop a new person, a new version of me? Not that necessarily you need to lose yourself from your past, because your past is always going to be there. It's memory. It's your experience. It's your life. It's who you were. It's what you went through. But it's not what has to define you. You got to decide, is it going to define me? Is my past going to control the future? Because many of us are just recycling our thoughts constantly over and over again. Hence why we're not making progress. We're not moving forward. We're not getting the results that we want. We're not achieving what we want because we're still living in the past. And that's why obviously it's important to process that, man. It's important to heal. It's important to bring it to the light. It's important to love all of that pain out of you. And that's why I always say, self-love is the secret to success. And it's like, well, what is success? There's many definitions to success, but if you do learn to actually have a positive relationship with yourself, well, anything that you want to achieve is going to manifest because you've actually got a relationship with yourself where you actually are your own best friend. You are your own superhero, and you're actually clapping for yourself, and you actually love yourself enough to want to achieve something, even if you're nervous or you're scared or whatever. You love yourself enough to do it in any moment. Many of us don't have that within ourselves, hence why we don't take the action. Because again, what are we doing? We're not centered in the soul, in the energy within. We're lost in the mind. The mind will always convince because there's a ruminated story that's so subconsciously ingrained in some neural pathway in your brain that says, no, don't move, stay the same, stay here, don't change, don't grow, don't become a different version of yourself. This is all you've ever known. And I know it's as simple and easy to say, well, if this is all you ever known, this is all you're ever going to get. And if that's working for you, well, then fucking stay there. And I know that it's easy for you to say, and it is. That's the simple part of it. You can say, well, if that's working for you, then stay like that. And it's not that simple. I'm with you. It takes months and consistency and showing up, but you got to decide in 12 months' time, in 24 months' time, in 36 months' time, do you want to be feeling the same? It has to hurt enough, man. It has to. You've got to be hitting the ceiling for fucking 6 months, 12 months, 18 months until it fucking hurts you so much that you go, in 12 months' time, I want to look back and go, wow, so fucking proud of myself. Glad I took the action. Glad I fucking showed up. Glad I invested in myself. Glad I fucking changed my lifestyle, changed my habits, and changed the way I was living. Because this version of me was not serving me anymore. And there are stages for me as well. Just because I'm doing this and I'm showing up on social media, I've got the podcast and I've got all my social platforms and I'm coaching and I'm changing, helping people change their lives. I've still got levels. I've always got new levels to grow. I've always got new habits to change. I've always got, right, new ways of thinking, new experiences all the time. Because I also can feel when I feel I hit a plateau of like, oh, I'm in a bit of stagnation here. You know, there's always things that you need to deal with. So it's just your awareness of where you're at right now, man. And you can change if you want to, or you can stay the same. But I got to tell you guys, like changing my environment so many times, because this is just part of my journey at the moment. You know, I live in Australia, living in Dubai, I'm living in fucking Europe now, you know, and maybe the next thing will be that I'll be in the US, you know, or maybe I'll be in Mexico, or maybe I'll be wherever. Like the life of this journey for me is very unpredictable. And I'm just following it because I'm following what feels right. I'm not allowing my mind to convince me of fear or don't do that or don't do this. It's what feels right. And that's what I want you to tap into where you are in your life right now. Is it fueling you? Does it feel good? You know, if it doesn't feel right, there's work to do. Changes need to be made. Action needs to be taken. Otherwise, don't complain when you're in the same place in 12 months' time. Don't sit there and complain and whinge and whine about your fucking life that you don't change. And I know you can say, but it's Luke, but it's not that simple. I'm like, it's more simple when you create a plan. It's more simple when you get out of your own way. It's more simple when you learn to love yourself. It's more simple when you build more confidence in yourself. And I remember this, man. I looked at other people I was working with and I didn't understand it. And I was like, why do they have more confidence than me? Why were they born with confidence? I'm like, I believed that you were born with it. It wasn't something you could cultivate or it's something you could grow or build. Now, because I chose to face my fears of public speaking, getting up in front of people, enhancing and developing my communication skill set, facing the negative mind of getting up in front of people and not allowing their opinions or thoughts to actually control the way I show up and speak. Because it's so easy to stand in front of a group of people and go, fuck, I don't know if I'm going to say it right. What if they judge me? What if they're, you know, they're thinking bad about me? What if I stuff up something that I say? What if I can't remember all of it? What if they laugh at me? All this shit, man. You know, I still have that sense of like, what are they going to think of me if I get up and dance in front of people in the middle of the town? And that's uncomfortable. It is. Even like with all the dancing videos that I've created, all the content that I've created, the amount of fear that I have to face and that conversation in my mind all the time. What are people going to think of me? I'm about to do a fucking TikTok video and there's going to be people walking shit. You know, and I got to tell you, that's one way actually, not only public speaking and speaking and doing events and stuff. And of course, you know, my coaching programs and working with my clients, I've grown a lot there and I've developed more confidence and it's a skill set. I'm in flow, man. You hear me on my podcast, I'm crushing the shit out of this stuff. But this was not the way it was at the start. I got better at it because I did it more often. But the dancing, like dancing in public is shit, is still this element of like, fuck, in my mind, like, what are people thinking of me? And the truth is, you always do think the worst. You do think, oh my gosh, people are going to laugh. What are they going to think? This and that. Like every time I've done it, like people are looking. And it's not to say some of you guys can look at the content and go, oh my gosh, he really doesn't give a shit what people think. But the truth is, it's still there, guys. Those conversations I still have in my mind. The question is, for you, are you going to allow those conversations in your own mind to actually stop you from doing what you want to do? Because it's not about what other people think, because you don't know what they're thinking. You're not in other people's minds. You're in your own mind. And it's just that conversation that you have to fight with. And even though I've done it a fucking 1,000 times, I still have to deal with it all the time. getting up on stage and doing my events, I still have to deal with the doubt or with the conversation in my head that I'm going to fuck up or it's going to, I'm still jumping on my live coaching sessions with my clients and thinking, what am I going to talk about today? Or how's it going to flow? Or is it going to be valuable? Is it going to be enough? Other people going to receive the value that they've invested in, but I prove myself wrong every time. I turn on that fucking Zoom and I turn on the podcast and I turn on my Instagram lives and Facebooks and TikToks and shit. And I fucking speak, man. And I prove my mind wrong. That I can do it. That I can share a message. That I can communicate. That I can be myself. That I can fuck up. That I can make mistakes. That I can be real. That I don't need to be perfect. And really, this is the journey. You see people in their confidence and their success and all this shit, and you think that, they don't have doubts and this and that. And I tell you, man, everyone has this shit. How people show up and their front is a persona. It's almost like, for me, Luke Mindpower is like an avatar. It's like this version of myself that I've created that when I show up on camera, boom, I'm this version. But if you meet me without the camera, without the Instagram and all that shit, you would never know that I'm Luke Mindpower because I'm just chilled, man. I don't try to stand out. I'm not walking around going, hey guys, look at me, look who I am. That's not my vibe, man. I just want to chill and have a few fucking drinks and have a chat. I'm just sharing this with you guys because it's really easy to make assumptions on kind of who people really are and how people are really showing up on social media or on their YouTube platforms or whatever it is that they do, and helping you become aware that we all have this human condition of self-doubt, of insecurities, of fear, but it's up to you to be inspired, to be motivated, to be positive, and to think highly of yourself, that you can achieve a goal, that you can make the positive changes in your life, that you can do the work on yourself, that yes, you can condition yourself in a better way. You can become a better version of yourself. You can change the way you think about yourself. You can do that if you want to. You can change your environment. You can change the way you feel about yourself by changing the way you think about yourself, by taking action and working on yourself, by taking action and working on goals and achieving them, by taking action, having visions and dreams and allowing them to be manifested. You can change your life because you see the results. Don't go thinking and walking around that I'm going to take this action of positive affirmations and telling myself that I'm enough, but in reality, nothing is being manifested in your life to prove. Where the fuck's your evidence that you're enough? Where's your evidence in your reality? And if you don't have any fucking evidence, this is your sign to take some action. Because in the action, in manifestation, in getting the fucking results, you're going to condition your mind that I'm not just saying that I'm enough, I'm fucking proving it. I'm showing it. And I know it's all like when you're not feeling enough and you hear someone say, hey man, you're enough, It's nice to hear that. But ladies and gentlemen, wake the fuck up, man. Whoever's listening right now, you got to hear it this hard. And some of yous are triggered and shit. And you're like, oh my gosh, why are you speaking like that? Or why? And some of you guys did get spoken to or abused or verbally abused in the past. But remember what this podcast is about. This podcast is not about bringing you down. It's about waking you up to your greatness. And I'm going to wake you up to your greatness because I'm going to fucking shout at you sometimes. I have a very good level of awareness of cadence, and I know when to fucking slow down and when to fucking turn up the volume. And this podcast is about turning up the volume because a lot of you guys need to fucking hear this shit. No one else is going to talk to you the way that I speak. No one else speaks to you the way that I speak anyway. And if you're watching this, then I invite you to share this, whether you're on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, share this with your friends. One of your friends or someone on your Facebook page or someone on your Instagram followings or TikTok needs to hear this motivation and needs to be yelled at, needs some sort of push. And legit, man, if we don't hear it spoken like this, you want me to do the podcast like, hi guys, it's nice to see you again today. I hope that you're doing well. I think you should overcome your fears and your doubts. And if you don't get out of your own way, nothing's going to change in your life. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was telling me about how she was going through a toxic relationship and moving forward from that, and how much She saved her own life by listening to my podcast, by her actually sitting there while she was traveling, and she just had to listen to the way that I was screaming at her to remind her to not go back, to what hurt her. And this is a reminder for you that you will never heal in the same environment that made you sick. I'll repeat that again. You will never heal in the same environment that made you sick. And that's why I did the work on myself, and I just start wandering around the world. And I go travel, and I go live in Dubai, and I go fucking Australia. I'll go back to Australia soon. And I come to Poland. I don't know how long I'll be here, but I'll probably be here for a while. And then I'm going to travel around Europe, and I'm going to keep living my freaking dreams, not living my fears. Because what's the point of life, man? To walk around scared? Is that the point? Is that what we're here for? Embrace this present moment. Do your best to be grateful every single day, to be aware as much as we are focused and busy and we have so much going on. But live as much as you can. Do the best that you can every single day to move forward, to make progress, to be the change in this world. And sometimes that takes a while, but as long as you know that you're on the right path and that you're feeling that you're moving forward in your life, and you know yourself better than anyone. You don't need me to tell you, you know, but I'm just here to remind you that you know yourself better than anyone. So don't ever let anyone convince you otherwise of what it is that you believe in and what it is that you're doing and what it is that you want to do and where it is that you want to go. Don't you fucking dare let anyone convince you otherwise of your fucking truth, because your truth is no one else's, and no one can see what you say. No one can feel what you feel. No one's been through what you've been through, and you're going to let someone else's opinion fucking stop you from actually manifesting your dreams and doing what you believe in. Shame on you if you're letting someone else's opinions fucking control you. And I'm actually not talking to you. I'm talking to your mind that's been negatively programmed because of all of the past experiences that you've had and maybe the toxic relationship that you're in right now. I'm talking to your mind right now. Not you, just your mind. So don't take it personally. But I'm just trying to help you become more aware of what it is that you're doing that's causing you to be in dysfunction or anxiety or depression or unhappiness. Because there is a way out, and you will make it out. And I know that. Just keep listening to the podcast and let me keep inspiring you. And eventually you'll send me a message on Instagram like thousands of people have had and done, and say, hey, man, thanks so much for fucking doing your podcast. And thanks for that episode. And you changed my life and you saved my life. And because of you, I didn't kill myself. And that's just my gift to you. So don't give up. Keep pushing. Keep showing up. There's greater things ahead. There's greatness in you. There's a bigger calling in you. There's a bigger purpose in you. And all that's required is that you just persevere one day at a time. Just think about the next 24 hours. That's all you need to deal with right now, because it's going to get better. And I'm with you all the way. Guys, it's been a pleasure. I hope you love this podcast episode. I hope you love the podcast in general. If you do, please don't forget to leave me a 5-star rating and a review on Spotify or Apple Podcast. And if you're watching on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe. Leave some comments, some feedback. Always read all the comments on YouTube. And share this with your friends. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And I'll see you on the next episode. Let's go, baby. Come on.